So, what can you tell us about this third season that starts this Thursday?
Well, we're just so excited to have another season and to continue to tell these stories. Where we're joining our friends at Roman Ireland, no longer just the Roman agency, because Susan is a full partner. It's really fun this season because both Luke and Susan are at full power, which they haven't been since season one. So we have them both. Selling and staging and doing all that real estate stuff with our metaphysically engaged properties. And boy, I think pe if people have liked the seasons in the past, they're really going to love this season because we have the horror element is really fun. We have some really scary and interesting baddies, but the humor is still there. And I think particularly in this season, the heart really comes through in a lot of our episodes. The haunted houses can be, and one of the things I love about our show is haunted houses can be very emotional kinds of places, hosting very emotional stories. The people, the emotional resonance that kind of goes into a haunting is something that I find just fascinating. And I think in season three, we really dig into some of those stories.
Yes, definitely. I watched the first half of the season. They let me watch 5 episodes,
Oh,
and
great.
there are 10 total, right? Again.
Yes.
Okay. And I have two funny things to tell you. Well, one's funny, one's not so funny. Um, I was, I'm just getting over a cold and I've been sleeping a lot. And I watched a few of the episodes and I was getting tired because I've been sleeping so much and everything. So I said, I'll just go take a nap. And I had the weirdest dreams after watching the show. And I don't remember specifics, but I was part of a team and there was some supernatural threat and some of the team members weren't getting along. But it was just weird. I woke up and I'm like, oh, I should not watch a show like that before I go to
Oh,
sleep.
that's awesome. And I don't think we can promise that every viewer will have
No.
will experience that, but it's great that you did.
And you were talking about the emotional resonance. I have to tell you the ending of a family thing made me tear up because personal stuff, but it really got me. And I was like, oh, so that one really was good. Like,
Oh,
they
well,
were all good. I
well,
enjoyed them all, but
thank you. No, and see, that's the thing. I mean, we want to be first of all, we want to be a fun experience.
yeah,
We want to be something that people can laugh at and can kind of relish the scares and everything. But we also, I think it's very relatable, the idea of the people we love who've moved on.
right,
And gosh, if we could spend time with them, we would.
right.
And the whole idea of haunted houses and the resonance of people staying past their life because they have that unfinished business. They have those things to say. They have that last I love you to say.
Mhm.
They have that buried treasure to show. Um, there are just so many stories within that, and that's what makes our show so fun and I think relatable. We've
Definitely.
all had those feelings.
And
So,
I talked to you about this last time, but I like that it's horror, it's supernatural, but it's not gross or super scary. It's all, it's kind of off the screen in a way. It's scary, but you don't always see it until
yeah, we really try to walk that line
yeah.
of doing things, of giving you that little thrill and that little jump scare and everything every now and then. But we want to be a show that families can watch together and talk about and laugh together about and everything. So it's a line that we walk, and I think we work really hard to stay on the right side of that
Yeah,
line.
I can tell definitely. I don't want to give away any spoilers. So at the end of last season, the team all seemed to go their own ways. This season, we see most of them, but in the 5 episodes I watched, there's still one missing, although they refer to that person. Will we see that person in the second half of the season?
We will not see that character,
That's
and
too bad.
it's one of those things we will, as you mentioned, we talk about him frequently, always fondly and lovingly, and some of his help will come into play
Okay.
at some point as well, but he's not
Not
good to
available. Say.
exactly, exactly.
So let's talk about guest stars. First of all, I have to ask, who plays the tall blonde woman in the third episode, Death Takes a Refi?
Oh, I'm so glad that you asked that because that is a woman named Hannah Cheeseman. Hannah Cheeseman is actually a writer on our show. She
Okay,
wrote
the
two
name was familiar,
episodes.
but
I know. And then she showed up in an audition for this episode, and we were just blown away by how wonderful
great.
she
Yeah.
was. And, I told her, okay, you're writing, you're acting. Are you not going to help at all with craft services? I mean, you know,
Get your
let's,
apron on.
yeah, let's show a little effort here. But no,
That's
Hannah
funny.
was just wonderful. And that episode, I have to say, is one of my favorites that we've ever done.
Good. Yeah.
It's a very, very fun
Has
episode.
a lot of that. It's fun, and it, like you said, has that heart that you were talking about, especially towards the end.
Yeah, yeah.
And who plays this new guy, Tag? What is his deal? Does he have agoraphobia, or is he on the spectrum, or we don't?
Tag is played. Oh my gosh, this is awful that it's Alex. I'll have to look that up. And maybe I can get back to you and when I look
Okay,
that
I'm
up
sure
because he is
they
he
know.
is deserving of all the promotion that we can get him. He is so wonderful. Um, and he is he's kind of homebound by choice. He's kind of sort of agoraphobic,
Hmm.
but he is brilliant. As you could see in the first 5 episodes, he's sweet. He's very, very into his own mind. You wonder if he is on the spectrum, but he's just a fascinating character, so fun to write. And
I bet.
Alex, whose last name will haunt me, I keep wanting to say Alex Ovechkin
Oh,
because I'm a
Alex
hockey
Ozerov Meyer.
fan. There he is. Thank you.
Erica.
Thank you. And he is, I cannot, I'm just so excited about his role in this because he is just plays this wonderful character. When people see episode, I think 303, he comes back in, or we are introduced to him, and he's just fun.
Very good. And now there's a big bad, what they call a big bad, when you have a story arc over the whole season with one villain who's more important or around more than the others. And he takes advantage of poor Luke. Can you tell us anything about that without spoilers?
Yeah, I can. When we were talking about who was going to be our big bad, we kind of had this idea of um, a childhood imaginary friend of Luke's that was more than that. And the thought of, well, what happens if he resurfaces, so to speak?
Okay.
And you'll see what we're talking about in the very first scene of the very first episode of season 3. But the idea, and it's an old nemesis of Luke's, and he happens to possess an innocent bystander and pretty much puts him to work in opposition to Luke. So it's an ongoing arc through the whole season, and the actor who plays Tyler, guy I do remember his name, Austin Ball, is just wonderful and plays him as such a great foil and such a great nemesis to Luke. They have just some terrific scenes together and everything. And he has that underlying tone of menace that is always so fun.
Good, good. And have you already started? I know writers do this. Have you already started writing down ideas for possible season 4?
Oh, absolutely.
Figured.
Absolutely. I keep hope alive. And I very honestly, Suzanne, I could keep writing this show forever. There's
Right.
always there's always another house. There's always another spook. There's always, another story of loss and regret and revenge and all of those things that make good drama. And with all of those possibilities and all of the talents of our cast and the fun that we have with their characters, um, the short answer is yes. I'm already have a couple of sheets full of ideas for season 4.
So do
So
you,
here's
you just
hoping.
like take a bare list and go, okay, Susan buys a house that's haunted by Siri, and then you go to the next one and you just come up with ideas like that and then flesh them out. Is that how it works?
Yeah, yeah, it is pretty much. I'll read something. I read a lot and a lot of very diverse things and everything. And I'll see something in something that has something about angels. And I'll go, oh gosh, we've not done a show about angels. We have to do a show about we do all these shows about demons. Angels really deserve equal time, you know?
Right.
And then that's when we start fleshing them out and saying, well, who would this be most emotionally resonant with? Did someone lose someone that they could see as an angel? All those kinds of things.
Right.
And yeah, you kind of I'm kind of a sponge as far as reading things,
Sure.
and it's like Picasso said, um, amateurs copy, professionals steal, and so I am not at all above stealing inspiration wherever I can find it.
I just have one last question. So your background is in advertising. So where do you get all of your information about real estate? Do you have an expert for that, or how does that work? You just read about it?
I have a couple of resources that I talk to if I have something very technical. I worked with a lot of real estate people in advertising. We
Oh,
did branding work for them. We did some advertising work for them. I've written a million real estate flyers and things like that. So I'm fairly conversant in that world, but a lot of times I'll go to a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine who are in the business and just say, look, is there anything screamingly stupid here? And just kind of gut check and vet those things because I really don't want real estate people watching the show and going, that's dumb.
yeah, right.
We have to take some license and everything that might make them roll their eyes a little bit, but I try not to be too inauthentic to
Right.
the
Well,
business.
I forgot. I do want to ask you one quick thing about the houses that on the show are so beautiful, and especially the one this season that Luke really wants to sell because it's like the holy grail of houses or whatever. Those are real houses, right? They're not all CGI and
They are real houses. I absolutely promise. They're real houses who are owned by wonderful people who, for some unfathomable reason, let our crews go tromping through their houses for a couple of days and moving things around
nice.
and doing all of that. And God bless them because if they didn't, if they weren't so kind and so hospitable and so interested in having their houses featured in these shows, I don't know what we'd do. We wouldn't have much of a show. But they're all real and they're all just even more magnificent than they look on screen.
Sure. And they're in the area where you already filmed.
They are, yes. We generally we do what we call clusters, is to shoot these things as efficiently as possible. We will find like a neighborhood where there are 4 or 5 houses that are perfect for the stories that we want to tell, and our location people are so wonderful, and they find us these clusters so we don't have to do a scene and then drive for 2 hours to get to the next place and
Oh,
everything.
that's good.
We can be very efficient and do all those things. But first, the houses have to be cool.
Right.
And
Sure.
we were very fortunate to find some very cool houses this
Oh,
season.
great. Well, I look forward to the other 5 episodes and the rest of the houses and everything.
Well, thanks. And that's April 3rd, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're back, and hopefully the third time's the charm.
Yeah, and I hope there's a fourth season. We all hope. All of the
I
fans
do
hope that
too,
there's a
and
fourth
thank you so
season, a fifth
much.
season. This show and Resident Alien keep us going on sci-fi.
That's a great show.
Yeah. See you later. Thank you so much for talking to me
Thank
about
you
it.
so much, Suzanne. Great to see you again.
You too.
Bye.